99% of artists fail, especially Christian artists, not because the music is bad or they're not talented enough, but because they're waiting for a miracle instead of building momentum. And in this video, I want to share with you the 3 biggest mistakes I see for both mainstream artists and Christian artists. My name's Chris Greenwood, also known as the Artist Manifest. I started in the Christian industry about 20 plus years ago. I had my success with EMI, Universal, and in Japan, selling 10,000 albums a week. We finally had success in the USA, radio and top 40 in Canada, and now we got about 500,000 monthly listeners, and I had a song in the Super Bowl and the Olympics last year. And I just love helping artists avoid mistakes. That's why I made my company Smart Music Business, because I've made a lot of mistakes that I want to help you avoid. And so the first one, and I wish somebody told me this, was that money is not the root of all evil. Okay? We've been told, not just in churches, but in public school, that money is bad. In the movies, they always demonize the business person. Even in the cartoons, they demonize the business person. I shared on my Spotify challenge once that in the cartoons like Superman and Batman and all these superheroes, who is always the arch nemesis? Who is the bad guy? It's always the business person, right? Superman's the poor little orphan boy, and you've got Lex Luthor, who's the billionaire corporation. Same with Spider-Man, right? And some of you are going to say, well, what about Batman? Well, he was rich. Yes, but he also didn't have any superpowers, right? So they always attach something negative to the business person. And let me ask you this. How can you want to become rich or become something that you actually despise in the back of your mind? Like, they've programmed us in the back of our minds to not want something, to not want to go and get something. So how can you want to be that when really back in your mind, they've got all these grooves and they've kind of programmed our minds to not want that? And let's just throw it on top of the church where they confuse that Bible verse where it actually doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And what I've understand is if I want to make impact with my music or my message or anything that, I want to do, it takes money. Right? It takes money to get started, and I can't help other people until I first help myself. I kind of look at it when you're on the plane. What do they tell you to do? They tell you to put the mask on you first, so then you can help other people. Well, you need to get secure financially and get your stuff right so that you can go and help other people, whether that's through music, right? Or whatever it is. But how can you want to be successful in music or anything if you think it's wrong or it's evil? You see, you don't use people to get money. You use money to love people, right? And so you've got to set yourself free with this. Like, it is okay to make money. It is not wrong. Business means profit. Inside the Bible, it says, do business until I come. So you need to get that free from yourself. You got to get rid of that poverty mentality. A lot of you in the artist community, oh, I'm just a starving artist, Stop trying to become a starving artist and start becoming a starring artist. Start seeing yourself as the star so you can make impact. And I'll never forget, I read a book and it was talking about how it was the Millionaire Messenger, where, you can make millions while being the messenger, while making impact. And it is okay to chase your dreams while making money. All right. So I want to just set you free there so that you can go for this dream like balls to the wall and freaking just go for it. Right. The second thing I see a lot of artists struggle with is the whole marketing. Promoting yourself. You don't want to over promote and you just smush your ego down when really you need more confidence, right? You need to step out there and persevere. I talk about this in my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear. First, you got to have courage. Joshua 1:8 says, be strong and courageous, because it takes courage to put your music out there for people to listen to love it, to hate it, to, download it, to buy it, right? But then you've got to persevere and market and market and market. And where the problem is with a lot of artists, including me at some points, was we get started and we don't see the momentum right away. And so we give up, especially when posting on social media. We post 4 times, or we post for 4 weeks, or even post for 4 months. But it takes more than that. How about 4 years, right? Like, I remember how many shows and how many albums we did. It wasn't until the fourth album that really took it off, even with the label, and after hundreds of shows and tours and money spent, right? And then it finally happened. Like, my mom and some of my family thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. I was just crazy after my dream, after this music, and I didn't understand how much effort it actually took to get this plane to take off. But what's so powerful was, and a lot of artists, and I said this at the beginning, is like, we're just hoping something will happen, hoping somebody will find us. Well, God will just, share it and it'll just get found if God wants it to happen. Look, no. You see, a lot of you think because it's hard, you're going the wrong way. And a lot of you think because it's easy, you're going the right way. In the Bible, how many stories was it hard? But God was preparing them for something great. They were building your character. You might not be able to handle the success yet. There's probably a reason why it took 4 albums for me to finally start selling 10,000 albums a week in Japan and be recognized on the streets and selling all these albums, because maybe my character might not have been able to handle it at the beginning. Because I've noticed, especially in the music industry, the faster you rise, the faster you fall. And you want to have just the character, you want to have the mindset, you want to have that foundation of being able to handle that success, and so that you don't self-destruct. But like, what I've realized is that, look, just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's not working. Oh, it's always working. I'm just learning and I'm growing. And like I said, I toured the wrong way when I first started. I performed the wrong way. I wrote songs the wrong way. I wrote the wrong emails. I embarrassed myself. I didn't know how to talk to this camera in interviews. When I see myself interviewing, I didn't know how to interview. You don't come out of the womb running. Like, you're going to suck at everything at the beginning. But you've got to be willing to be bad at something long enough until you get good at it. And when it comes to this marketing and promoting your music, it's about telling stories, right? Like, you can't just say, hey, my song Teardrops is out now. It's like, hey, I lost my dad to suicide when I was 5 years old. I used to struggle with fear. I was bullied, and that's why I wrote this song Teardrops, because I know maybe you've lost someone or you're going through a hard time, and I want you to remember, those tears aren't wasted. There's a reason you're going through something. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. That's why I wrote this song Teardrops. Like, I put a little positive quote or something inspiring or a heartfelt story before the song, right? Because people don't want to say, it's out now, go buy it, whatever. It's like, no. Why did you write it? I wrote this song in my room during COVID when we were locked down. I was depressed. I was discouraged. I couldn't go anywhere. And this is where the song was. I was actually writing my song in the car, and a cop went by and actually knew that we were on lockdown. And that's actually a true story. I'm pretty sure it was that song that, like, we were on lockdown years ago in COVID. And they said, don't go out, don't be in your car. But I needed to get out. I wanted to go write some songs, right? And so that's a story. And how many people are going to relate to that? Whenever I share about my dad, I'm realizing that, like, man, a lot of other people have lost someone too. It might not be their dad, might be their mom, might be the friend. But what I've realized, guys, is people relate more to your struggle than they'll ever relate to your success, right? And you want to be careful who you share your dreams with. Or just like in the Bible, you might find yourself in a pit like Joseph. It only takes one negative comment to destroy your great idea, okay? So you need to understand money is not evil. It's the love of money. And it's okay to go make a lot of it so you can make a huge impact, because it takes money and it takes the pressure off. And now you can give. And that's why the devil is always so hard on both believers and non-believers. Whatever you believe, they don't want you to have money because they don't want you to give. And they just want you to think about yourself. And it really frustrates me, especially in the Christian community, where like, oh, I just want enough for me. I don't need a lot. That might sound humble, but that is so selfish, because that's only thinking about you. If you've ever toured or struggled and you've ever been billeted or had somebody put you up in their house and give you food and make you dinner or give you a place to sleep because you didn't have any, and this is why I wrote my book, Fighter, because we had to fight for this dream. And I remember all those kind, amazing people that blessed me and my wife and my team when we didn't have nothing, right? And so they couldn't give me anything if they didn't have nothing. And so that's why you need to be successful, so you can be free to write these songs, not just for commercialism, to be on the radio or be famous, but so you can make impact and just be free to make art. And then it's okay to monetize the art. All right, it's okay. And the last one that I want to cover here is no ownership. Okay? You guys are so quick to sell yourself short, to sell your masters to the highest bidder, the highest label, and you guys sell yourself so short and don't realize that your music is valuable. You know, I say my book From Red to Black. When you start to understand your value, your true value, you'll stop giving people discounts. You know, we raised our prices on my inner circle because I don't want a certain demographic of people. I want buyers. You know, that's why I don't just give away my music for free and build an email list of freebie seekers. You know, we do free plus shipping where we say, yeah, the CD's free, but you got to pay shipping and handling for it. You got to pull out your wallet if you want this. I want buyers on my email list. Same thing with Smart Music Business. This is my free content that I put out there so you can trust me, and because you want to buy from someone you know, like, and trust, right? But when I run ads and stuff for Smart Music Business or for Manifest, it's always directly to a sale. I don't want an email list of a whole bunch of freebie seekers, okay? And so going back to this idea of ownership is that, like, when I toured my face off, I only got paid once for those shows. I'll never get paid again. I've done thousands of shows, right? Over 22 different countries we've toured, right? And I only got paid once for those shows. But, you know, when I stopped playing the shows, I stopped getting paid. But you know what didn't stop paying me? The music. And the only reason the music didn't stop paying me is because when I did sign a deal, it was just a licensing deal. And there's a big difference between a full record deal where they own the masters in perpetuity. Look up that word perpetuity. It just basically means forever. Okay? Whereas for me, it was like a 5 or 7 year deal where I got my albums back. Okay? And so that allowed me to earn what I call Swiss dollars, which is sales while I sleep soundly. While I'm watching this video, or while I'm recording this video, I'm getting paid because people are streaming this music. While I'm sleeping, I'm getting paid. On Sundays, on the Sabbath, I am getting paid. Birthdays, I am getting paid. Drop below this comment, drop a comment if you want to get paid and earn some Swiss dollars. But what do you have to do? You have to sever the relationship of trading your time for money. So when you go to Starbucks or you do whatever and you do a service-based business and they pay you for that service, you don't get paid again. Where with songwriting and Spotify, hate them or love them, they've allowed me to have freedom because they built the system, right? Just like McDonald's don't make the best hamburgers because they got the best system. Spotify might not be the best system for royalties, but it's made it easy and accessible for fans who want to listen to music, and then I get paid without stealing it at least. Right? So I get paid 24/7. And so another thing that I teach on my Spotify 5-day challenge on day 1, where look, you're used to working Monday to Friday, and then you finally get paid. Work, finally get paid. Okay? Whereas me, as an entrepreneur, when I songwrite or I do something, I like to create things that pay me forever. Like this YouTube video. It will continue to pay me forever because there will be ads in front of this video. So I do the work, get paid. Then I do some more work, get paid. I'm going to go to the studio this week. I'm going to write a song. We're going to release it. Okay, I did the work. I wrote the song. We release it. Now I get paid. The majority of the royalties I earn are for songs I wrote 10, 15 years ago. Okay, because some of them are hits. Obviously, I'm trying to even some of my more recent songs, like there's a song we got in the Olympics last year, the Super Bowl and the Omega Watches commercial. It's my song Born to Be a Legend. Wrote that about 3 years ago. Okay, work I did 3 years ago still paying me over and over again. This is a mindset shift. Okay, and this is why the record labels win and indie artists, Christian artists, all artists lose, is because labels are willing for their wallets to go down before they go back up. They're willing to sow a seed, okay? And a seed, before it can become a flower, become whatever it does, it has to die. So you got to let go of that money. It's got to be gone. But you've got to invest it knowing that eventually if you keep pouring water, you keep putting sunlight on that seed, and that seed is your dream. It's your music career. If you keep watering it, right? And then eventually it will grow fruit and it'll start working for you and make you more money than you trading your time for money. You invest your time and your money and then you get it back forever and ever. I hope you really understand the principle on this. But so many artists, they just sell it and then they're touring and they're working for the label and they're only getting 20% of that master where the label's getting 80%. And what I've learned is that the labels aren't always honest. I remember a label owner one time said to you, at least I pay you, man. At least I pay you. I don't scam you and not pay you. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because there's labels that do some really shady things and just don't pay the artist anything, even though they're supposed to, because there's just more expenses. There's more expenses on marketing, and I got to recoup that first. But you never see a real royalty statement, right? So I hope this has blessed you. Come to the next Spotify 5-day challenge where you can ask me questions every day. Grab the Spotify Profits ebook or maybe the song launch checklist, but just keep investing in yourself. And whether you work with me or someone else, just take action and don't take no for an answer. Go after this dream.